I don't care about these things, bro. Where they use the money, I fight anyone. That was Khamzat Chimaev's blunt response at the UFC 319 post-fight presser when asked about his next opponent. Fresh off a lopsided victory over Dricus du Plessis at the United Center, Borz looked more confident than ever that his dominance would continue at 185 pounds. Now, he's eyeing the next best contender. Ideally with a more lucrative deal. The middleweight division isn't short on challengers. Caio Borralho and Nassourdine Imavov are set to collide at UFC Paris on September 6 at the Accor Arena in France, with the winner likely earning a title shot. But while that matchup seems obvious, Joe Rogan threw a curveball into the conversation. He believes Reinier de Ridder might actually be the one fighter who can give Chimaev real problems. During post-fight discussions, John Onik opened the topic by saying, when you look at the division owned by Khamzat Chimaev, there are also a lot of guys who can really grapple. Joe. Some exciting fights beckon in the future. Rogan quickly agreed and singled out de Ridder, saying, Reinier de Ridder, given his ability to grapple on the ground. The UFC color commentator didn't stop there. He went on to highlight how RDR's striking could also pose a challenge. Rogan added, his ability to land shots standing, particularly that knee he lands. He has experience, he throws those combinations with those long leading knees. You know, he's interesting. The Dutchman has already proved his skill set against the likes of Robert Whittaker and Bo Nickel, showing how his knees at range can trouble grappling heavy fighters. Still, the real question is whether that approach would hold up against Chimaev, who has steamrolled nearly everyone in his path. If UFC 294 against Kamaru Usman left some analysts questioning Chimaev's cardio, UFC 319 answered those concerns. Against du Plessis, he didn't fade. He went the full 5 rounds, landed and controlled the South African nearly every minute, and walked away with lopsided 50-44 scorecards across the board. The performance didn't just silence doubters. It also impressed Robert Whittaker, the former middleweight champion. Speaking on the MMA Arcade podcast, Whittaker admitted he had picked du Plessis to pull off the upset but came away impressed. Everyone knew what the first round was gonna look like. Not the final details, such as the crucifix and him just laying 400 punches on his dome like that. But we knew he'd get him down and hold him down. What we didn't expect was Chimaev's ability to do that for 25 minutes. But in a dramatic turn, Chimaev not only went the full 5 rounds with du Plessis, he showed a level of dominance we hadn't seen before. That performance even caught Robert Whittaker's attention. The former middleweight champ, who had picked the South African to pull off the upset, admitted he was impressed. Speaking on the MMA Arcade podcast, the Reaper said, everyone knew what the first round was gonna look like. Not the final details, such as the crucifix and him just laying 400 punches on his dome like that. But we knew he'd get him down and hold him down. What we didn't expect was Chimaev's ability to do that for 25 minutes. It was a statement win for Chimaev, showcasing an evolved ground game that ultimately earned him the middleweight crown. Still, the road ahead only gets tougher. With more contenders studying him closely, his next title defenses promise to be even more intriguing. So here raise the question, could someone like Reinier de Ridder actually pose a real threat to Borz? Or is Chimaev simply too overpowering for anyone at 185 right now? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below.